Alright, you guys already know how this works. This is the third video in the series, one fact for every single Ben 10 character. Let's just get right into it. Alan Albright was Zeno Robinson's first ever voice acting role, and he was not reprised for his role in Omniverse because apparently he was unaware that the character would have been brought back. But then when asked why he didn't come back, Derek J. Wyatt said that they can only have a specific amount of voice actors they can use per episode. All of the Andromeda 5 aliens have interesting facts about their names, so you'll see them throughout this video. Andreas is named after the San Andreas Fault in California, which is a nod to his abilities to generate earthquakes. Azimuth is apparently too smart to be evil in every timeline, and he's also not even close to being the oldest living Galvin and expects to live another 3,000 years. If Bazel appeared in Omniverse, he would have wore a monocle. If Albedo had access to Alien X, Bellicus and Serena's names would be Anarchus and Corsica. Ben has a lot of facts, so instead of just giving you one, I'm just gonna give you a few. Ben has an honorary doctorate, size 10 feet, a scar shaped like New Jersey, and has never tried the same smoothie flavor twice. Ben 10,000 is the only future Ben that kept his Omnitrix. Derek J. Wyatt believed that Ultimate Ben was lame. I think most of the fandom would agree with him there. When Ben 10K was being produced, the crew wanted to restore the original Ben 10,000, but then they ultimately decided to just create a new one. Ben 23's future is a superhero named Benjamin 23. As stated in the pop-up trivia, Bazel was originally a place, until Derek J. Wyatt, unknowing of this, created him as a character. Bivalven was named after bivalveal, which is a class for shelled mollusks. Blukic and Dreba were named after Butch Lukic and Dan Reba respectively, who were both directors and storyboarders, with Lukic specifically directing UAF, and Reba being present from Classic Series to Omniverse. Carl apparently was not present in Omniverse due to him having yard work to do. You can just say you don't like him, you know? Sandra was modeled after her Race Against Time actress, who also voices her, the same as the case for Carl. Dave Johnson modeled Cash after Sam Register, who worked on Ben 10. You get it? Register, Cash. And JT was modeled after Tram Wigzel. He also hangs out with Cash so he doesn't get bullied. Chad Smith, the intergalactic lawyer, got his suit from his favorite tailor on Galvin. Clyde Fife has a strong resemblance to Napoleon Dynamite, and they even share the same voice actor, John Hader. Collectimus knows that Ben recreated the universe, since he reviewed the message boards for so long, and thanks for all the smoothies. Colonel Rosem wore green marine uniform in UAF, which was actually corrected in Omniverse to a blue uniform considering he's in the Air Force. The Omnitrix can't store Quantumelia DNA because they don't have any genetic material to go off of. Cooper wasn't present in Above and Beyond because he would have instantly figured out why everyone was there in the first place. Esther is voiced by Tara Platt, who is married to Yuri Lowenthal in real life, who voices Ben Tennyson. Eunice is technically a part of the Tennyson family considering that when Gwen touched her transport pod, it randomly sampled her DNA and created something based off of Gwen, which makes scenes like this extra weird. Galapagus is named after the Galapagos tortoise on the Galapagos Islands, which are tortoises that can live to up to 160 years old. Sir George's name led to the story of Saint George and the Dragon. George Washington was originally meant to be introduced with a character called Ezekiel Saturday, who would have been Doc Saturday's ancestor, continuing the crossover with the Secret Saturdays, but this was unfortunately cut due to time constraints. Magister Galil is voiced by J.K. Simmons. That's really it. I just wanted to point that out because I think it's cool. Gluto still works with Tetrax post Secret of the Omnitrix, but he just doesn't show up on screen for some reason, which is pretty disappointing. Gwen had tons of spin-off series planned for her, including in 2013 where they conceptualized an anime for her. Also, Dagon described Gwen as being the most powerful being on Earth, but Matt Wayne later disagreed with this despite him writing the episode this was set in. Helen Wheel's name is a play on words of Hell on Wheels, which is a term that people use for going really fast without any care for your safety. In Hobble's future, apparently he's married to Charmcaster. Yeah. Jennifer Nocturne is a parody of Kristen Stewart, who played Bella Swan in the Twilight series. She's also voiced by Tara Platt. Jimmy Jones is an homage to Jimmy Olsen and Rick Jones, who are sidekicks to Superman and the Incredible Hulk. And also, his middle name is Jonah, which is obviously a reference to J. Jonah Jameson. Julie is a sports celebrity in the future, and she pioneered in a sport called zero gravity rocket tennis. Here's an interesting one. In the original series Future, Kai missed Kenny's 10th birthday due to her being on a diplomatic mission in the Shadow Realm. This sounds like a load of crap when you hear it, but then when you realize that in the classic series, Vilgax was actually stated to be from the Shadow Realm, it makes a lot more sense. Still doesn't really make sense as to why Kai is looking for Vilgax, but it's still interesting nonetheless. Kenneth Tennyson's favorite aliens are Four-Arms, Diamond Head, Atomics, and Waybig. Kenny or Spanner has met Big Chill's offsprings. Ken, Gwen's brother, actually gifted Grandpa Max his his lucky red Hawaiian shirt. I guess he's not useless after all. Joe Casey said that Kevin was originally meant to have his own Omnitrix, which they didn't follow through until the reboot. Also, the lock that he carries on his neck was from his first crime of stealing a bike. Devon's working name was Lucas Levin. Devlin Levin was grounded in the end of an era, which explains his absence there, which is also just really stupid. I don't know why they didn't just include him. Quarrel was named from the word quarrel, which means to argue or fight, which is quite ironic due to his on-screen personality. Magister Labrid was planned a story around him in Alien Force Season 2, which would reveal lots about him and his past. Lucy is the first Lenopan plumber. I'm actually surprised I couldn't find anything more interesting than that. Manny is not explained why one of his hands is missing, but it's theorized that it was from a Null Guardian. In the early stages of the original series, Grandpa Max was actually planned to be a scientist and an inventor, and instead of the rust bucket, he would drive a blimp. Somehow, Myax did not know that Azimuth was a Galvin, which is extra weird considering she built the robots that feed into the codon stream. Pakmar has a wife called Marpak, and they together have 487 kids. Yeah, they have that, I guess. Pandora is named after Pandora's box, which is a phrase that people use that if it was opened, it would reveal all the world's evil, which is a play on how NRG, if he's opened, it will reveal his radioactive form. Magister Patalide's voice is modeled after Dom Knotts' character in The Incredible Mr. Limpet, who he plays a man who was turned into a fish. I'm pretty sure this movie is from 1968, so it really shows how much the studio knows their media. Pax is one of the only people that can actually irritate Rook, to the point of him wanting to hit him. Pierce's DNA comes from Argit. Professor Hokestar's first name is Blarney, which is Irish for hooey, and his last name Hokestar includes the word hoax, which is falsehood or fake, which ties into his whole fake professor thing. Rad's name comes from the Arabic word Ra'od, which translates to thunder. Rad Dudesman is based off of Rocket Raccoon, Perry the Platypus, and Han Solo. Reini, or Reinrassig III's name means purebred in German. Rook Blanco does not use contractions because they are considered as slurs in his language. But if you watch the earlier episodes of Omniverse where they don't establish this, he swears up a storm. Apparently nothing on Earth rivals even a fraction of the speed that ship is able to fly at. When Skird was attached to the Omnitrix, Ben dealt with privacy issues by putting a smoothie cup over him, and apparently Skird wore a shower cap when showering. Sunny is based off of Serena from Bewitched, which is an evil twin version of one of the characters that was played as the same actress. Synaptac is named after Synaptic Software. Tetrax was the first alien to appear in Ben 10 to be the same species as one of Ben's transformations, this of course being the best alien Diamond Head. Ben learned how to do his shockwave clapper's forearms from Tiny the Tetramand. Ultimos has similarities to Superman, and he's weak to sucrotaxonite, which is found in chocolate apparently. Aunt Vera likes building ships and bottles and collecting rare taxidermy birds. Will Harang's last name means mean or nasty speech in Latin. Winston died protecting Sir George. This is pretty well known, but he has really nothing else to him, and I have to just say this because I think it's kind of a cool scene. Xylene's species name, the Euxorite, comes from the word Euxa, which is Latin for wife. And finally, Zed's inclusion into the series was requested by Greg Sipes, Kevin Levin's voice actor, as he really wanted him to have a dog of some sort, and they were actually designing an alien dog for him to have, but then ultimately decided it would make more sense if he just had Zed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one fact for every single Ben 10 alien, every single Ben 10 villain, and every single Ben 10 character. We did it. We finally finished the trilogy, but there might be still more fact videos to come, so stay tuned. Got some more plans in the future. The Alien Force Season 3 rewrite is coming soon, hopefully. I don't actually know when it's gonna be finished. Make sure you click the video on the screen. YouTube thinks that you'll probably like it. I don't know. And yeah, that's all I really got for now. So I'm Rizzyrez, and until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.